So it's down real low so that you can see what I'm doing down here. I'm gonna new invites. I don't know what it's saying. I'm gonna show you how we chalk on cloth. I put this. It's like a tacky on this side. It's like a board in here so that this doesn't bleed through. And I put it on there and I pressed it out, and it kind of keeps it from moving around while I'm doing this. And when you do it on fabric, you use inks. So I've got my inks open and ready to go. And this is a new transfer, so they're real tacky. And you do want it, like if I was going to do it on a hard surface, I would really put it on the cloth here to, we call it fuzzing it, to so it's not quite so tacky. But because this is going on material, it doesn't need to be fuzzed as much. So I'm actually doing part of one and part of another one. And this, I wonder if I want to off-center it. I think I kind of do. So I'm going to go over here. So I'm doing the word love. I'm just doing one word from this one. And so let me get my bottle out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm pressing it down, and I'm really making sure that the silk screen part of the love, there we go, gets done there. And we have these little, what are they called? Squeegees. And there, just making sure no air bubbles are in there. And because I'm not using the whole thing, this transfer says, when you love what you have everything you need. But I'm only using one word because I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm putting two different transfers I'm using together, but I don't want to get paint in the wrong place. So I'm putting that there, and I'm putting that there, just so I don't, if I go over the edges of my words, which I usually do, you don't have to worry about it. There we go. So now the only word I'm using is love. And I forgot, hold on, be right back. Okay, I'm back. I did not really want that blue. It's a little bit too, what's the word I'm trying to say? Too dark for what I want. I wanted it a little lighter. Actually, on the other words I do. On the word love, I was going to leave it dark. Never mind. I'll put that there. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. It's so simple. You can use these little spatulas and drop out. This is ink. So you use ink on here. You use chalk on your hard surfaces. Ink is going to make this permanent. And you just scrape it along. Spread it out. You want to spread it all over. You want to make sure you get it in all the spots. And you want to work fast because you don't want it drying in your silk screen. Okay, so now that I've got it everywhere, I'm going to scrape it off and put it in the jar. I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing. I'm scraping it off and putting it in there. And then, here's how the magic happens. I am lifting it up. And there we go, love. Now, I do have a few little marks. Oh, I see it had lines on it, so that's all right. So that looks good. Can you see my word love? Okay. Now this thing here, you're not going to really see me. I'm going to go to the sink. Can you see me at the sink? I don't think so. I'm going to rinse it off with water. And we have these little things. They remind me of like little white spongy things. And I'm going to just kind of wipe it off and get my ink off of my word love. And a lot of times I also use Clorox wipes. Then I'm gonna, so if you look, I got all my ink off. I can take this tape off. Now it's wet. There we go. And I usually put this, which I forgot to get out, on a, where is it? Well, I usually stick it on a cookie sheet, like, you know, when you're letting your cookies dry, but I'm actually going to stick it right there and let it dry. And now the word love is done. Now I could be finished if that's all I wanted on here, but I'm going to take another one, and this is our home. It says, our life our story, our home. So I combined it with the word love, and then it's going to say our life, our story, our home. And what I forgot to show you is on the back of these, I always put, with a pen that works. Oh my, none of my pens are writing today. These are actually Joel's pens. Seriously. Our life, our story. And then I'll know which one goes back on here, because once they're dry, I'm going to stick them back on here. So now, and I should tell you, on that one with the word love, one of the lines I'll show you closer in a minute didn't go all the way through right there. And I'll just take a paintbrush and add that on there. So now I've got love there, and I'm going to put this just a little bit over here. And I just realized I got it too close to that. If I was going to have this go over the top of that, I would, like part of this transfer, I would need to make sure that I dried that. And I am going to dry it in a few minutes. I'll show you. I'm going to use a, you can use a hairdryer, but I usually use my heat gun that I have from some other craft that I was doing. I don't know. I've done so many crafts, but this I love because it's so super simple and it's so fast and easy. And you know, you start collecting this kind, I mean, like you have these transfers, and I buy these pillow covers, and then I've got them on hand, and it's great for gifts and things like that. So now I wanted to do the houses in 2 colors. So what I'm going to do with that, I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm going to put my houses on and really quickly spread out the blue and get a little bit more. And while that's wet, I am going to, and here's the thing. If this didn't come out, this cover cost, I don't know, $6. So if it doesn't work, guess what? It's not a big deal. Now on the harder surfaces, you can erase those off, but this ink on the material, you could try and wash it off, I guess, because you hadn't heat set it. It would probably come off, but I don't know. I don't worry about it. So now I'm going to do some white over, and the reason I'm doing the white is just, I don't want it all exactly the same. I don't know. I like to do things a little differently. So I hope you can see this. I'm doing that because I don't want the white to get on there. Okay. And I'm just making a little bit more. I guess I need more white than that. I'm being stingy with the white. There we go. And I'm trying to get it in there before the blue dries. Now, you could buy a lighter color, but I kind of like making my own colors. Okay, now this, because it is not in one of these jars, you know, it's a color I made up, I will wipe it off and wipe it all the way. I'm not just gonna, you know, I wipe it off. And now I'm trying to think of these letters down here. I think I'm gonna go, should I go black or should I go back to that blue? Is anybody watching that you can tell me? Well, I think since I made these light, I'm going to go back to the blue. We'll see. Okay. Just because I have blue all through my living room, you know, my curtains and all that are blue. So I want to make sure it gets in all the letters. Now this, I am going to scrape back into there, because you don't want it to be, if you don't scrape it off, you have areas that it might run through, you know, run underneath the silk screen. Okay, are we ready? So, we are taking this off. All right, guys. You always want to loosen the edges so that you can take it off all at one time. By the way, this painting top, my hygienist, they're her old uniforms, and her name happened to have been Barb too, so I get the same ones. Okay, here we go. Oh, I love it. Let me put this in a little bit of water, and I will be right back to show it to you. Okay, so just let that soak in the water. This is how this pillow came out. So it has love, the 3 houses that are lighter, our life, our home. Now what I'm going to do is, I wanted to show you this. So where's that thin brush? Okay. So there's a line that kind of goes around these things, and so I really should put glasses on for this, which, oh, here they are. So I'm going to, this I didn't rub over enough, and I am just going to finish it with a paintbrush. Just fix this line. There we go. Good enough. And that is my pillow. Now what I'm going to do is, because I want, and I had paint on my hands and I got it on here. So I'm going to show you what we do to get it off. So what I'm doing is I'm grabbing my I don't have a work table where I keep my crafts, which is a real bummer because I have to keep going back and forth. But I got it off. I'm using Clorox wipes, and it'll usually help you get your ink pretty good off. And if you can't get it all the way off, you can do a little paint to dab it up, but this looks like it's pretty good. It's gone. Okay, so get it off my hand so I don't do any more. This is also great for taking the paint off your transfers and all kinds of other things. So then what you do is you take this out of here. This is my tacky board that is good for going underneath it, and there's a clear plastic that goes on top of it. Oh, here it is. Just to keep it from getting stuff. And you can wipe this with your Clorox wipes also to keep it tacky, okay? So I'm going to leave that right over there. And then this thing, I have, here it is. I have my, what do you call this? Gun. And, well, I can't get to that one. Let me go over here. I am going to dry this. Oh, this doesn't fit. So, I hope you can see. I'm just drying this so that it's permanent. So you can also use an iron with, put some parchment paper in front of it. And depending on the material, heat guns get really hot. So on some material, you may not want to use a heat gun because it, could melt it. So the other way to do this that I would do is take parchment paper, lay it on top, and use an iron. Or if you're one of those people that has, what is that stuff called? You know, where they print out labels and stuff like that. Not labels, circuit. And you have that circuit iron, that would work too. I think it's at 350, you go ahead and do it. And so now my love is pretty dry and it's heat set. Another way to heat set this is to do it with this, like what I'm doing right now, and then just throw it in the dryer for a few minutes. And the dryer will help heat set it. You just need that heat to set this ink. And then I have some pillow inserts. The real good ones to get are from IKEA. And you're going to stuff this, and this will go on my couch. So I will put a picture of this finished on the couch because I want to heat set it a little bit more. I mean, maybe 5 minutes of heat setting and it's good. And it'll dry those spots that I wiped up. But yeah, you see my little spots here where I got stuff on it, but I got it off with the Clorox. That'll dry. I think it came out really cute. Okay, so that's my project I made today. And we are going to have a workshop, and you'll have 3 different projects. You can pick which one you want to do. You'll have to register ahead of time so that we can order the supplies. But Renee and I are going to do it at John Christ Winery on, I believe it's Saturday the 20th, if that's a Saturday, the 25th of September. So, and it'll include a glass of wine. So the cost with the registration. But I'll tell you about that, more about that later. But just remember the 25th of September. All right, I'm here. Forgot I'm standing up. You can't see me. So goodbye.